Is out today. Very exciting. A super cool set, but also bringing some Mystical Archive fun. And I've been brewing a bunch of Living End throughout last week and today. And that's what we're going to be playing today. So if you're not familiar with Living End, if you've never played Modern before, this is a deck by Travis Wu, made in 2010, that did really well at Grand Prix Oakland in Modern. And the basic idea is Living End is a zero-cost spell, which means if you have Demonic Dread or Violent Outburst and everything else in your deck is more than 2 mana or 1 mana, then you always cascade into Living End every single time. So the whole idea of the deck is you fill your graveyard with these cycling creatures: Deadshot Minotaur, Jungle Weaver, Monstrous Carabid, Street Wraith, Valley Renette, and then you cascade and bring them all back. Living End does a cool thing where it's a board wipe technically, but it basically switches graveyard and the battlefield. So anything in your opponent's graveyard also comes back. But that was the basis of the list way back when. Obviously, it's evolved a lot over time, but we still have that same general game plan. It's got a lot of tools in the past couple years. So this is a modern port of Living End that I took off of MTG Top 8, just that recently 5-0'd something. And it definitely looks a little different. But general idea here is we don't have all the Cascaders in Historic, but we do have Violent Outburst. My secondary enabler for Living End is going to be As Foretold, because you can pay 0 rather than paying Living End's mana cost. You can actually cast this because it doesn't have a mana cost. It's not 0. But you can play it for free off of As Foretold if you have it in hand. So those are our enablers, playing 4 of those and 4 Violent Outbursts with 3 Living Ends. On top of that, you notice we're also playing a Halo Forager along with Formidable Speaker. So obviously Speaker is just a good tutor for stuff in the deck. You can see we're playing Wistfulness, we're playing Colossal Sky Turtle, we're playing a single Deceit, which means we can, discard a random card and then go grab one of these. Maybe we need to draw, maybe we need to remove an artifact or enchantment, maybe we want to snipe something out of our opponent's hand, whatever it might be, we can tutor for that. But the cool thing you can also do is you have Living End in hand, you cast Formidable Speaker, discard Living End, go get Halo Forager, and then Halo Forager is a 3-mana 3/1 with flying, and when it enters, you can pay X to cast something from your cast an instant or sorcery from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. So you can play this, pay 0, and cast Living End that you discarded Formidable Speaker the turn before. So we have a tutorable way to cast Living End from our graveyard, we have a way to cast it from our hands, and we have a way to just cast it straight out of our library. Because we are playing the Cascade version, you'll notice we also have everything else above 3 mana. We are running Force Negation because a lot of the time we want to stop all the other fast combo decks. So usually we can Violent Outburst at instant speed, and if we're playing against whatever it might be, Control, okay, we have Force Negation on their turn to back it up, make sure our Living End resolves. Scape Shifts in the format. Ruby Storm got a bunch of big upgrades. I've already ran into a bunch of Rakdos Storm lists, playing Call of the Week and stuff like that, which have been super cool to see. But we just need a main deck counterspell and some free interaction. You'll notice we're also playing Endurance. This is helpful as main deck graveyard hate, but it also makes our Living Ends one-sided, because we can evoke this, put our opponent's entire graveyard back into their library, and then we cast Living End. We get all our stuff back, and they get none of theirs. Curator of Mysteries is just a nice flyer. Cycler just helps churn through our deck. We're also playing Overlord of the Battlemerc to dump a bunch of stuff into our graveyard. And later on, if we number creature. We talked about Wistfulness, we talked about Deceit. And then in order to make this mana base work, because we are playing 4 colors, I'm playing 4 copies of some of the land cyclers, Troll, Oliphant, and Generous Ent, which are all pretty decent to reanimate. Oliphant especially, and Troll especially, since he's hard to block. And then we have 1 Colossal Sky Turtle that helps us, return a Violent Outburst from our graveyard, grab a Living End. Maybe we want to bounce something back to our opponent's hands, like a Rest in Peace before we go off. So we have one of those in the main deck as well. And then mana base, pretty standard. We're playing some shocks, a couple basics so that we can fetch them off the land cyclers. Starting town to help smooth things out, and a single sink into stupor as some additional utility and interaction. But that's the main deck. That's the plan. And then sideboard, you might notice a couple interesting things. A lot of the time, other combo decks are tough, like Ruby Storm, for example. I'm sure we're going to run into that at some point today. So there is a game plan where you actually sideboard into other hits besides Living End. Of course, you can keep these in, but for stuff like that, we can bring in my Scorefold Striker and Damping Sphere, so that way when we Violent Outburst, we can hit one of those, which in most cases is just as helpful as a Living End. Living End's more of like an end game to close it out. Our goal is to try and stop our opponent from going off. Along with that, we got 4 Mystical Disputes to pair nicely with the Force Negation, Dismember, and Harvester of Misery as some extra removal. This you can discard to give something -2/-2. Playing a single Besiege You along with some Sultai Charms in order to destroy artifacts, enchantments, even though we already got Wistfulness in there. And then an Ashiok against opposing graveyard stuff. And finally, I'm testing this out. This is Press the Enemy. Lets you return a spell or non-land permanent opponent controls to its owner's hand, and then you can cast an instant or sorcery with lesser value, equal or lesser value from your hand without paying its mana cost. So it's instant speed, so it's nice where you can bounce something back to your opponent's hand, cast a Living End at instant speed from your hand to do the combo itself. But no one that I've seen, I've been scouring all the websites all day, has come to like a consensus. Like I said, there's also a Historic Living End forum that we started today in the Eternal Discord. I got quite a few versions that we're going to play on stream that we'll get to eventually, but I thought this would be a good starting point for us. I played Living End in Modern for about 6 years when I was a little younger, so I got quite a few reps in with the deck. Now, that was before we got, like, Overlords and Wistfulness. That was, like, when was that? Amonkhet into... I also played Brazen Borrower. So it would have been into Eldraine. So it's been a little while. But hopefully we can still win some games. So let's get into it. We are on match 2 here. We won the first one. We're going to lead on a Starting Town, and we're going to pass a Rooney. I'm not sold on As Foretold. We're going to cycle. Okay, Formidable Speaker's pretty good. Find a Wistfulness. We're going to evoke that for 2. We do find the Living Ends. And we have the As Foretold in hand. So I think we're going to get rid of the Ent. I kind of want to keep the Speaker. I think I'm gonna... Yeah, let's just get rid of the Ent. I might Speaker, discard Endurance, and go get a Deceit. Okay, this should be a pretty easy matchup, chat. Okay, we find a second Living End. Yeah, let's do... Endurance at least puts another body in there. Actually, we got plenty of time. Let's just grab an Overlord. We have double Living Ends. Good draw. Obviously, you can also suspend Living End. Okay. I think I'm just going to take the Curator to give us one more cycle. Find Darkset Shores. That's fine. No attacks. We'll chill. Bum, bum, bum. But it definitely... I mean, to be fair, like I said, I haven't played this in a long time, but it just feels so different. Scurry Oak. We don't We're okay with that, right? I know he gains... Oh, no, he's gonna kill us with Voice of the Blessed. Chat, I was expecting him to just be straight like Coco Angels, but he's not. We got comboed out. We'll concede. Should I have just went off instead of... Well, yeah, that's on me. I didn't know exactly. I should have went off a turn earlier, yeah? You hate to see it. I think we'll bring in the Harvesters, the Dismembers. This destroys monocolored creatures, so I actually feel pretty good about Sultai Charms. Press the enemy probably wouldn't be the worst, but I don't think we need it. Let's drop an As Foretold. Probably keep it seat. Don't think Endurance is going to be crazy here. I want to drop one Speaker. Maybe one Overlord. Let's keep an Overlord. Let's drop a Wistfulness. We'll see if no opponent knows what I'm on. It was very interesting going into Discord and discussing Living End and talking to players that have like never played it in Modern before. Jesus. We can't, right? I can go get a second land, but okay, this is better. We don't have double. Oh yeah, we do. Let's get rid of this sink. We'll go grab a Stevens. Okay, there's a Sultai Charm. That's a good pickup. We're gonna Evoke here. If we find a Living End, great. Harvester's another good pickup. Let's just get rid of the Curator for now. I have a green source for Charm, and we have a Harvester for some removal. Does this also draw cards? Draw 2 cards to start. Okay, so it's also a Wistfulness. Opponent plays Rest in Peace, which we knew would be coming. So we don't mind that too much. We are gonna Sultai Charm that. We didn't really lose anything big there. Is that Flash? No. At 6 mana, we could buy back Sultai Charm if we need to. I don't know why we would, but we can. I'm gonna play Sturry Oak. We're gonna kill it with Harvester right away. Sky Turtle is very good as well. We could also just bring the Charm back to our hand. But I think we'll hold on to Turtle if we have to bounce the Heliod or something. Chat. Do I just want to bounce the turtle? Or do I want to return? I think we're going to bounce with the turtle. Or no, I'm sorry. This is creature. I'm sorry. Let's buy back the charm. Chat, I don't even know what my own cards do. Plum needs to read. We're gonna see it. Oh, we do see it, Coco. Into voice plus, okay. Let's Overlord. There's a chance we hit a Living End here, which we do not. I could kill the Soul Warden Or to just bounce the voice. We're gonna hold on to some stuff here for a second. We have 4 mana up. Is this only when it dies? Yeah. Is he just gonna give it lifelink? No, he just fires off a second Voice of the Blessed. That does let him hit us with Heliod and Soul Warden, but I think that's okay. We can kill the Conclave. Well, we'll see what he puts it on. Maybe the Mentor? Let's Halo Forager for 3 and just Outburst and see if he has a Mana Tithe. Chat, he totally could have a Mana Tithe. I guess not. So we get to wipe his board. He does get a voice back. Not great. But better than whatever else. He has 2 cards in hand. We have a 7/5 turtle. We're at 9. My hopes aren't high, chat. Voice of the Blessed. Another Heliod. I think he played those in the wrong... Well, it doesn't matter. Troll of Khazad-dûm. We can just hard cast Misery. That's pretty good. I'm at 9. I'm gonna swing. We should probably play one. I'm gonna hold on to the troll. I should probably play one Surveil land, shouldn't I? Should probably be playing one Surveil land. Opponent finds a Soul Warden, but nothing to do with it. But now he gets to give that lifelink and we die. We're not dead yet. Because we can still find another Living End. I mean, he gets back quite a lot from his graveyard. Maybe we find an Endurance. But Infinite, I don't really care if he goes Infinite here, because we're not... We have one more turn, at least. So I think in this case, let's just cycle this while we can. But yeah, I think we definitely want a Surveil land, don't we? Because we can find... There's a lot we can do. We can find another Harvester of Misery and wipe his board, and then just worry about a Scurry Oak. We can find a Violent Outburst. We can find... I don't know. We already have Turtle, so we can't buy back the Forager. I had a dream that I would enter stream and see the streamer. You want a higher production quality, Brave? Who do you think I am? I'm trying my best, Brave. Okay, chat, we have quite a few outs. I'm not confident we're gonna draw any of them. But we're gonna try our damn hardest. I would like another Harvester, to be honest. If we Living End, he's just gonna give back so much shit. Unless we top deck an Endurance, but top deck Endurance does not save us right now. So we have like 2 outs, chat. We want Harvester or Outburst. Harvester or Outburst. I would have played this different. In game 1, I would have played this differently. I thought, like I said, I thought they were on Angels. I could have, as foretold, Living End a turn earlier, and then we would have not lost. But that was my mistake for not reading them properly. How's the set? So far, so good. I'm having fun. I'm playing Living End, dude. It's 2026. I'm playing Living End on Arena. A lot of people are trying out the Bloodbraid Marauder version, which I think I brewed one, but so far it's pretty sweet. I'm having fun. We made a thread in the MTG Eternal Discord on the forums for Living End. But ran into a few cool brews, which I mentioned. We saw, what did we see? I saw Ruby Storm earlier. I saw that Ulf Culling the Wheat deck, which was really cool. Yeah. We either draw a Harvester or we draw a Violent Outburst. Those are our 2 options. And even then, Violent Outburst gets him back all of this. So we're not out of the woods yet. These Heliod's are the most annoying things. Living End wipes the board, so our best bet is to wipe him and beat him down. We find an Otawara off the top. So that means what? We can go blue, green. It's not enough. We don't have enough mana. Because we could bounce the Harvester back to hand. We can shock ourselves. Does that get us anywhere? That's only 4 mana. I got nothing, chat. Does my opponent know I have nothing? That's all I got. All right, chat. We lost to Helio Combo. So we are 1-1. Interesting. Whatchamacallit, this feels pretty good. We have As Foretold into Living End. So name of the game is just race our opponent. We can go off on turn 3 if needed. And put, how much power can we put on the board? 14. That's pretty good. I don't know how much time we have. Endurance is a good draw there. Seat is also a good draw. I want to see... I don't want to cut it close, but we're going to see how close we can get to... Alright, we get Faithless Looted. We might have to go off next turn, chat. I didn't pay attention again, and I could have... I don't know why I didn't cycle end of his turn and then Wistfulness on 2 to discard the other Curator, but I didn't. Okay. Yeah, he's on a monument list. That's fine. We have nothing to do yet. Does he have a second looting? Dude's got a second looting? Does he know what we're on? Okay, he's just discarding creatures. So we're going to take 6 here. Go down to 11. I think we have to just... We're just trying to fire it off, right? We could get... Let's get one more creature. We're going to discard the Generous and to shuffle his library. Just to give us one more body. So we do that. We play As Foretold, go down to 10. And then we cast Living End for 0 mana. And get rid of his board state. And do all of that. We have nothing else in there, so I am going to shuffle our Living End back into our deck. Which is a cool little interaction. Might not be worth it. We'll see. I might just blow up that monument. Is that our best bet here? Am I going to go down to 8? I think so. Okay. So we clean them up on game 1. Mono red. Discard. Very interesting. I like the charms. Do I like the harvesters? Do we think he's on, like... Do we think he's on Hollow One? He's definitely on... He's going to be on Phoenix, right? I think an Ashiok might be worth pulling. Harvester might be okay. I honestly don't think Deceit's going to do that much for us. Could probably drop a Speaker. I want to keep the Endurances in. Force Negation doesn't seem that good, does it? I'm just going to counter Faithless Lootings or Monuments. I guess I could counter a Monument. We'll keep a couple in. Let's grab a Dismember. That's kind of we're kind of painful with our mana base, but we'll do our best. Seems pretty good to me, chat. It's a nice opener. I wonder what his Grave Hate of choice is. Let's Balmerk. Wow, we milled our Salty Charm. Is the deck competitive so far, or is it a bit slow? That's what we're here to find out. A couple people were having decent success in Discord. Chat, I'm gonna tutor for a green source here, and we're gonna Do I have red? I guess I have red. I'm gonna Wistfulness his artist talent. I think right now everyone's just trying to figure out what the best enabler is. Like, I'm playing As Foretold and Violent Outburst. There's a bunch of people playing just Outburst and Marauder. Magus of the Moon. I'm so here for that. I was going to put Magus of the Moon in our sideboard. Not even lying. I probably should have grabbed that basic forest then, huh? Okay, so he finds second monument. Are we going to see a looting here? We do. I guess we also could have jammed As Foretold instead. Sequencing is fun so far. Okay, so in that case, we probably do want to bring in Harvesters. I think. We're going to take, what, 5 next turn plus a discard, so we're taking 8. If he discards a Fiery, we're just dead. I assume, like, the cast, like, Violent Outburst Marauder is going to be the best. And we have a build for that. We have, like, I have, like, 5. Okay, so he did have the Fiery Temper. I have, like, 5 versions of this deck ready to rock. Let's bring in the Harvester. I'm kind of happy with everything else we did. Maybe we don't need as many endurances if we're playing Ash. Maybe Ashiok's just not as good in general. But we know we have to prioritize our Swamp and Forest. There's a thread on the Eternal Discord in the Historic Forum. Someone's trying all in on Marauder only, which I mean, you can dig a lot. This hand's perfect, right? This hand's very good. Opponent plays Marauding Mako. Let's go grab a Forest. Player Overlord. I like the... Well, I guess if you're playing Malevolent Rumble, yeah, give me another Generous End. If you're playing Rumble, Cash Grab, plus you can play Formidable Speaker. Ooh, opponent's playing Cool but Rude. I guess you have enough ways to actually find your Marauder. However, I do not like the fact that you only get to function at sorcery speed if you do that. Okay, so we do find the Living End. So now we can do a bunch of stuff. We just have a Curator. So, okay, we're just gonna chill. Well, we might have to pop it next turn. We can at least get how much power? 4 plus, okay, plus an endurance. Okay, we can get a lot here, chat. Hopefully it doesn't have instant speed anything. Okay, so we find a tomb. So let's go green. Do this. We'll go to breeding pool, doesn't really matter. We're gonna pay 2 to bounce the Mako back to his hand. I'm just gonna play this tapped. Does he have anything in here? He just has... I don't really care about that. Let's just fire this off. He gets his Artillery Enthusiast back, but we did all this power on the board. What did he discard? Blazing Root Walla? We get a food token, which is quite nice, actually, off the end. Pretty relevant. Hopefully we have enough here to just attack with our flyers. We'll see what we draw. Target player discards any number of cards and draws that many cards. Okay, I'm here for it. Discards Monument, Cam, Mako, and all of that. How much damage is that? Close to dying, chat. Oh, yeah, he's got me. He's got me, boys. Cool but rude. GG's. Number 3. Chat, we gotta change the tunes, guys. I can't handle the tunes. Also, I'm still hungry. Okay, sorry, opponent. We'll probably go for a land first. Fanatic of Ronas. We'll cycle here. Let's grab a Stomping Ground. I did see Spike was playing. Do I just want to bounce? Or do I want to Deceit? Kind of just want to Deceit here, I think. I could bounce the Fanatic, but let's take a peek-see. He's on Battle Crier, chat. Gross. Double Karn. Karn is obviously tough for us. Fetchable Grave Hate. We have Wistfulness. He plays second Fanatic into a bird. We find the Living End with just those in our hands. I kind of think we have to here. He's gonna play a Karn next turn and eat something. So let's play As Foretold. Let's evoke this with a Wistfulness. We'll get rid of his Battle Crier. And then we'll Living End. Wipe his board. Not a ton of power, but enough to at least fuck up his game plan pretty well. Get rid of all his mana dorks. Plays a tap land, good for us. We find a generous Ent. Let's swing. Let's find one more land. Yeah, chat, we definitely need a Surveil land. Let's just gain some life while we can. I don't want to cycle these. I might just hardcast the Curator. Okay. Won the first one. We saw a Temur Battle Crier. I don't know how good Damping Sphere will be, but we are going to snag one. I think I'm going to bring in the Dismembers, probably the Charms, and a couple Harvesters just to get rid of... Harvester hits what? Trailblazer, Bird, maybe Delighted Halfling if he's playing it. It's got enough targets. Do we think Ashiok is worth it? I felt like Deceit was pretty good there. I'm glad we picked out that whatever. Maybe we drop an As Foretold. I think we want the... Maybe down one force, but we want to keep some in. He's definitely going to bring in hate, so we're going to keep that. Maybe down a Curator and a Speaker. Not sold on the Damping Sphere. If he's playing just Battle Crier, not traditional, whatever. But hopefully we'll learn a little more info on game 2. Bow, bow, bow. Sure. Not sold on that one, chat. Oh, okay, we drew into the third land. Chat, we're so good at this game. He is playing Delighted Halfling too. Into a Fanatic of Ronus. Yes, sir. Let's play David Sphere. We see a Karn. Like I said, Karn's a tough one. I wonder if he just grabs Coding here. Grabs the ring. Interesting. Okay, so we can... This just puts us in an awkward position, right? Because he can grab Hate. Let's Overlord and force him to grab Hate. I'd like Harvester. Let's actually grab Generous and make use of our mana here. Notably, because we're playing Damping Sphere, we do have to pay for our Living End. It will cost an additional 1 mana, I believe, even though it doesn't have a mana cost. Okay, there's the Crypts. which we knew was coming. He's not really doing much here. So, how many... We have some decent stuff. We can... I think it's better for us to Salt-Eye Charm the Crypt rather than Wistfulness. He's gonna crack that in response. Which means we gotta rebuild a little bit. But we have second Overlord plus Wistfulness next turn. And he only has a couple things on the board. Do they... I haven't played... Does Battlecryer kill you that turn? Or do they just put a bunch of shit on the board? How does Battlecryer combo work? Does he kill me the turn he kind of chains everything together? Or do they have to wait a turn to attack with everything? We're gonna see what, double ring here? Do we think he's playing a second piece of hate? He could be. Is that Trailblazer? Yes. Let's try untap a land. You got it, Super Chief. Okay, that's very good for us. Let's go second Overlord. We find a Living End. Let's get Speaker back. What did we dump? We didn't hit anything relevant. Also tapped our mana, kind of weird. There's a Trailblazer. He's got to have a Battlecryer, right? Depends on the draws with combo. Okay. Well, we have Outburst. Is there a chance I wanted to stop that there? Maybe. Kiora and Cavalier, I don't think I care about. I do care if he goes and fetches something off of Karn. What did he just mill? Just a Trailblazer? Okay. We have Damping Sphere, which is nice. He cracks the Karn, which means we might end up with a force here. A Chroma's Memorial. Okay. Relevant. I guess, yeah. I'm just dropping the As Foretold here, right? And keeping the Wistfulness. Plays his Fanatic. I mean, he can rebuild rather quickly, but... Do I just want to play... Well, let's see what we draw. Bum, 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 bum. Find a second Overlord. Okay, let's... We just gotta go for it, right? Do I want to put one extra body? Or do I just hold on to it for a turn and let him swing at me? Let's see what he does. We could Wistful and try and find our third land. If he plays Memorial, we'll force it, discard the As Foretold. We'll Violent Outburst if he attacks. But the main thing is if he gets a second Karn down. Utopia Sprawl. Also interesting that he's casting spells before going off. But I guess if you have Battle Crier, he already has 3 permanents to reduce. So he's just kind of going for it here. Cavalier gets him back what? Nothing? If I Endurance him first? Do we have 1 limit. So we can also Formidable and go get Halo Forager if we want to. There's the Akroma's Memorial, which we knew was coming. See if opponent attacks here. Untaps. Taps Fanatic. This costs what? 13? You can just draw with the ring, but he's already at... We're gonna hit him for 3. He's gonna take 4 next turn. Go down to 2. We have a Balmerk coming off in 1. I feel like he needs to play a second Karn. I want to place Fanatic. Oh, it does? Hold on. It does cost 1. That's annoying. Chat, does this let me... Is this gonna make my, This makes my Living End cost 1 more, right? I think so. We're gonna evoke anyways. I'm gonna clear his graveyard. We're only taking 9. And then we'll Violent Outburst next turn. Boom, boom, boom. Is that how that works? I think so. Even though you're not paying its mana cost, kind of like we just did with the evoke, it still gets 1 tacked onto it. What's our opponent doing here? Going to discard? Oh, I should have done that at a different timing. That's my bad. Just trying to minimize what he can get back when the Cav dies. Main thing, I just didn't want him to get a Karn on the top again. But okay, I think we just we'll play our starting town. We have instant speed, so we'll just pass back. Because if he can't get rid of this ring, well, we did a Balmerk to chill for a second, and if he goes all in on us, we're gonna get back our endurance. He goes down to 4, and then untap. He dies to his own ring. Also, he only has 29 cards left. What else? What could he have up his sleeve here? I mean, he could have a lot. Pact Negation? Oh, he is playing blue. Offer you can't refuse. Chad, he got me. He got us, boys. I don't even recognize this breeding pool art. I didn't even see that. How many living ends did... we have 5 builds, I think. Okay, chat. Apparently, opponent's playing counters magic, which is crazy, but I love it. So we're just gonna bring in our other force. I don't know if... I think Mystical Dispute is probably our best bet. I'm just gonna send it. We're going to game 3. This is a fun matchup. Just we have main deck hate, but he also has a Karn board. But he still has to win through combat damage, which means our living ends are helpful. Which one has the most promise? I'm starting to, based on what others are saying in Discord too, I think we're all leaning towards like a Cascader, probably with Bloodbraid Marauder, which is the guy that has Delirium to Cascade, and Violent Outburst. I am interested in one with Mausoleum Wanderer. This is okay. We're gonna try it out. That one I tried playing Electro Dominance, and I'll show it to you after this one. Chat, would it be funny to force negation that right now? I'm not gonna do it. It would be funny though. I saw some other people playing like a persist build. Okay. That's helpful to have. We have combo in hand. This just, like, I know I said, I played the old, like, I played this in Modern for 5 or 6 years, and this deck just does not churn as fast. Chat, would it be funny to counter a spell? I'm not going to. I might have wanted to, but I didn't. There's a Wistfulness. I like that. I kind of just want to get down an Asfertold first. That might be the wrong move. We could blow up a Utopia Sprawl. We will force that, though. Keep him off a little bit of mana. Overlord is... Do we have double blue? Yes, we do. Maybe we'll see what we hit here, but we might just go for it. We find an Endurance and a Curator. I don't really want either of those. I guess we'll see what this hits us with. Okay, that's not what I wanted either. Chat, how do you feel about going for it and just getting a Wistfulness, a Curator? Let's fucking do it. There's no rules. We'll shuffle our Living End back into our library. I mean, I know he can put power on the board. We could also Violent Outburst and not Cascade and just for the pump. He's got, what, 4 mana here? But yeah, like I said, it just feels like we're not dumping enough power in the board. And in Modern, like, that's okay, because you can beat Grindier with, like, obviously they have Shardless Agent, so it's better. Sink into Stupor is pretty hot. Do I just want to hold that to bounce something? Kind of. I could have outbursted there, but I think we're just going to hold on to the Sink. Asfertold's coming up on 3 mana. He just tapped out. Okay, we played that one well. Going off early, paid off for us. This one you actually see the combo of Speaker plus Living Ends, where we get to play this on 3, discard Speaker, or I'm sorry, play Speaker, discard Living End, and then go get Halo Forager to cast it on 4. And we actually have decent power here, so we will see if that pays off for us as well. But I guess you could just play like a Marauder Speaker build and go up on your... Was that a Swamp? Interesting. Whatever. We find a Sink into Stupor. Opponent hasn't really done anything. I have a feeling we might get like Thoughtseize. gonna hold on to this turtle. Perfect! Wait till we get surgical, chat. It's gonna be great. Let's just fire up an Overlord then. Force, Deceit. Okay, we got quite a bit. Might as well get a Curator while we're here. Okay. Chances our opponent is playing Counter Magic? What do we have to be aware of? Drown in the Lock? Oh, chat, what did I call? I'm so good at this game, chat. 2 mana, second orb. Thank you, sir. Actually, we just don't want him to hit Forager. Okay, he did not. I would like to... This is pretty good. Okay, let's do this. Is there already a Living End in here? There is. In that case, let's discard Synced into Stupor. We'll go get our Halo Forager. And then we'll play... I don't need to do anything, so we'll play this tapped. We haven't been surgical yet, chat. He's playing Water Crystal and Thieves Guild Enforcer. This guy's kind of interesting. Is he on a Roads build? Brain Sanity. How many cards we got? 36. It's not a lot, chat. We might have to... Let's resolve all. Okay, so I actually think we're gonna... I think we're gonna... Do we have green? Yes, we do. Opponent has 1 mana up. There's a chance we die. We're at 27. I'm gonna hit the Fraying Sanity. What does my opponent get back? Double Thieves? I think that's fine, right? Let's at least get 2 points of damage in. And then let's Halo Forager. Opponent doesn't seem to have a response. So we're not gonna get surgical. But I do get to shuffle my whole library back into my deck. Or my graveyard back into my deck. So I think we're pretty good here, chat. Main deck Endurance is pretty sweet. We might still get, like... We could get... If he has a land... Well, we're gonna block, so he can't Kitsune's Technique us. Crab. I don't know. Maybe today will just be a Living End day. I'm not really sure yet. I might try and stream tomorrow. And Thursday. If I have the time. Alright. Opponent's orbing us real hard. And find another whatever. Emperor of Bones. Ah, he is playing Kitsune's Technique. Glimpses us down to whatever. Exiles whatever he wants. He is at 18. So we can... What do we want to do? We can bounce the Emperor. This gives just target creature, right? Okay. But it also gives trample. So we hit him for 8, 6. We might be able to kill him. Put the Emperor back on. Let's draw our card. As foretold is pretty good. Let's... What do we got in here? We could also buy back something. Could buy back Living End. But I kind of think our best bet is to just bounce the crab. Are we dead here, chat? We might be. We'll find out. This has trample. We're gonna get double milled next turn, and we, okay. I didn't do the math. Math is for blockers. Alright, boys. Opponent's on all sorts of stuff. He's like a weird hype, like, he's playing Emperor, but he's also playing this, but then he's going Bade with, like, Folio and Water Crystal, but it doesn't seem like he's playing Sphinx's Tutelage. I'm just a little confused overall. I think I want to bring in the extra Besieju. Honestly, Mai might not be bad. Harvester, I guess it hits these, but I don't particularly. I think I'll bring in Dismember. Do I want my own Ashiok? No. I'm gonna try press. We haven't brought in Press the Enemy yet, so I'm gonna bring it in just for shits and giggles here. Don't think. Oh, Wistfulness is pretty good. We have what, 66 cards? Let's drop an As Foretold. Let's drop a Curator. We dropped a Speaker. Maybe the One of Deceit isn't. Let's swap the Forest for our Besieju. I'm gonna drop the One of Deceit. I guess Overlord's not as good here because we're just helping him mill us. We'll find out. Oh! Boys! Why didn't you tell me my hair looked stupid? Alright. Let's go. Living End. We have an Outburst in hand, but no way to cast it. 2 black sources. We can kill a crab, and we have a way to cycle and hit an Overlord. This hand's not horrible, but I don't love it. We're gonna mulligan. Double Endurance. Sure. Sure, we'll try it out. Again, not a lot of interaction on this one. It's kind of tough. Like, no card draw. Hello? Opponent? Opponent, please? What if he brings in Thought Seizes? Nope, just a crab. Good for us. Okay, Sink into Stupor isn't bad. Finds a Press the Enemy and a Dismember, and fire off an Orb. Shout out to the Orbs. Find a Darkside Shores. We're just chilling. We got time. We just don't want to see what? Surgical, Crypt Incursion, any piece of Grave Hate. Wow, he's really hitting all of our shit, chat. Okay, there's a Wistfulness. Is that better? Okay, no anything there, so that's good. We have the Outburst already, so I am gonna... Let's get rid of this. No, let's get rid of the As Foretold. There was no pause there for anything. So it didn't really seem like he had anything. He goes for the water crystal. Okay. I'm here for it, opponent. I'm here for it. Is it worth me just bouncing the... Okay. Oh, we hit double living it. I get punished. I get punished very hard, chat. Did I just go for it? Oh. Chat. I wanted full control. Never mind. Didn't work. I'm gonna shuffle my graveyard back into my library. We could also play Brazen Borrower in the sideboard. I guess it really doesn't matter too much here. I think I just want another endurance. All right, chat, we're chilling. We're chilling. We haven't seen... Okay, so yeah, he's just a weird hybrid mill deck. I feel like he's doing both things poorly instead of one thing. Green. Chat, he's playing green cards. What does that mean? Who plays green cards? Green cards are for losers. I should have a hand hider. Ugh. I will say I'm having fun playing this deck. I miss playing Living Ends. It's just so different than what it used to be. Okay, opponent's gonna fire us off, and I assume we get Archive trapped here. Which is gonna mill for a lot. I am gonna throw a pause on our upkeep just in case. For some reason it decides to skip over my upkeep, and he mills us out somehow. Jace the Perfected Mind. For what? Okay. It should be GG's here, chat. We have double endurance. Mills us for 15. Nice. Double force with an Ent. I like the triple lands. It's not the greatest hand, but let's give it a try, chat. Let's see what happens. We're just getting some vibes going. We're seeing what's good, what's bad, what's ugly. We're just getting in here like swimwear. Definitely gonna add it. We're definitely gonna add a Surveil land. Oh, is my opponent playing the same deck? Chat, he's playing the same deck. Okay. 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 Now, if you play this, remember, you do not counter the Violent Outburst if that's the way he's doing it. Oh. Chat, maybe he's not playing the same deck. Maybe it's just green-black graveyard, which is fine by me. That does make it a little awkward. Never mind. Just say that does make it a little awkward. With our... Okay, we find an outburst too. Very good. We do have to find another green card. There we go. Second endurance. Perfect. What do we have in here? We have enough. Hello, Marauder. Okay. What is this? Any number each discarded. For those who didn't discard it. Oh, I don't want to discard a card. You can draw a card. All right, so obviously he's gonna get some stuff milled in there, but I think that's okay. So let's evoke. We'll discard or exile the other endurance. We're gonna shuffle his graveyard back into his library. Do I just want to wait till he attacks? Maybe if he puts another creature on the board. We'll try and snag one more creature off of this. I'm gonna let those hit me just to see if he'll commit to something else. Do it, do it, do it. Rotten Mouth Viper. Okay, so he does get his stuff back. But I probably want to fire this off. No, I don't. We got punished, chat. We're still gonna outburst. Chastlier living in. He gets his shit back. But we get more back. And then we have to discard. We're gonna shovel his thing back in. We get a food token. We will discard a force. What do I want? Do I just want to bounce stuff back to his hand? I think so. I don't need another land. Deceit's pretty good. He's gonna mill. He's gonna make me discard. Our violent outburst goes off. And we're just gonna keep that there still. Okay. Is anything big enough to trade? Just that guy? Let's bounce the Marauder. I don't want to land. Don't want to land. There's a chance we die in the swing back. We can do some crazy milling with Souls of the Lost. Okay, he decides to block. That's good for us. Is there anything we can die to here? He's obviously green-black. I know there's like that giant Lotleth something. Blasphemous Edict. We have Force Negation, sir. Okay. Cool. So, chat, our opponent's not playing the best cards, which is fine. This card's kind of cool. What is this from? Oh, Thunder Dungeon. So, he seems just plain old green-black graveyard. So, we're going to bring in the Ashiok. What do we assume? Am I assuming artifact hate against myself? Does he have a bunch of small stuff? He kind of does. This is a 4-2. That's a 4-2. That's a whatever. I don't think we're ever going to snag a Souls of the Lost off of it. But I don't know if... I think I just want to Dismember. Maybe a couple Sultai Charms. I don't think I want Harvester here. Let's discard As Foretold. I like the Endurances. I don't think Deceit's great. Probably drop a Speaker. Maybe one Overlord. Oh. All right. This is our hopefully last game. And then we can maybe move on to... Well, we'll see what we want to move on to. That's pretty good, chat. We have combo in hand, plus a Violent Outburst backup with a Wistfulness and an Endurance. We'll see if we get Thoughtseized. This hand's pretty good. C-Note Scout resolves. But back to what I was saying, anyone... Praven said he just saw some stuff in Standard. I haven't seen any other super crazy ideas. Why do we dislike Standard? Because it has a small brewing pool. And it's for nerds. It's for nerds, Praven. Are you a nerd? Not, yeah, I don't know. I like historic. It's my niche. My niche, as they say. Okay, opponent is swinging at me. That's a great pickup, but we do need to find a land. So let's fire this off and see what we can grab. Hopefully a land. There it is. I do want to kind of keep that troll to go get us a red source. So maybe I discard the as foretold here. Is that right? I think that's right. Because then next turn, we can just play Ashiok. And then the following turn, we can set up a troll into a Violent Outburst, plus an Endurance. Standard is huge right now. Power level means that you can do stuff. You're not wrong. Someone up the beanstalk. This guy's playing wild stuff. Oh, we have up the beanstalk. Chat, should we play up the beanstalk? Opponent plays Souls of the Lost. Resolves. Swinny does for 1. Okay, chat. So, I think we're going to take that line, unless we top deck something nutty. What do we have in here? Just a Wistfulness. So, if we do that, we at least get Wistfulness, Troll, plus Endurance. I also feel like this should be something else. Saltai Charm's good, but... Okay, that was a good pickup. Let's play Ashiok. Just start exiling his graveyard. That should get rid of Souls of the Lost power. So now we're only taking 2 for the time being. Maybe we have more time to set up. We could also Saltai Charm next turn. Lots of green-black mid-range control running around from what I've seen. Mid-range Fest is on the menu. Rotmouth Viper with 2? He's just gonna make me discard. Do I want to ditch the Living End? Probably. What does he have? Yeah, I think we'll just fire it off. Oh, swings there. Okay. We find second Outburst. Okay, so let's go black troll. We'll snag a Blood Crypt. We'll pay 2 life. What does he have in here? Nothing good. So let's evoke an Endurance, even though we don't really need to. Evoke an Endurance. Shuffle his graveyard away. Just to get rid of it. And then we'll Outburst and go hit Living End. I do have a Force, but nothing to follow it up with. We're gonna put our stuff back on. Back into our back into our library. And then we're going to mill our opponent. Just keep his whatever clear. So if he has whatever, Blasphemous, what is that card called? Overwhelming? No, not that one. What's the board wipe? Never mind. Turkey here. This is our first Living End list. We ported it directly from Modern into Historic best we could. What would we like and what we didn't like? We definitely want to play a Surveil land in the mana base. I don't know what I'll swap out, but probably this Overgrown Tomb. we're going to take those out. Just one. Probably play Mortuary. In terms of the actual enablers, I actually... Formidable Speaker plus Forager is super sick. Because then you can also find your... You can find, like, all your utility pieces. Like Wistfulness, Turtle, all that jazz. But it's mainly used for these two. So I like having that in the deck quite a bit. Obviously, Force Negation felt good. Sky Turtle's good. Wistfulness felt great. Overlord was pretty good. I mentioned earlier that it was hard to just, like... Sometimes it's hard to just churn through your deck and get stuff in the graveyard. But I guess you gotta play a little... You have, like, more interaction in this version. I used to play, like, the real old school, like I said, during the deck tech. Where you just, like, cycle, outburst. But this one, like, you can actually do stuff. So you can slow the game down a little bit. And since all of your creatures are just kind of bigger these days, I feel like you can get away with only reanimating, like, 3 or 4 instead of, like, 6. That being said, I did not like As Foretold that much as an enabler. I don't know. We have some Marauder builds. But... Like, you have Marauder, you have Outburst, we could play Bloodbraid Elf, and we have Throes of Chaos as our Cascaders. But I feel like sometimes you also need to jam an Outburst on turn 3 against aggro and stuff, so I don't know if, like, a Bloodbraid and Throes shell is going to be quick enough when we're already kind of slower. So I almost think, like, a Bloodbraid deck is just going to be the most optimal version, but then you have to figure out how to do Delirium. But besides that, mana felt pretty good overall in terms of, like, make sure we hit our colors. Sideboard felt quite good. Not sure of the Sultai Charms or the Press the Enemies. These we were just kind of testing out, but we didn't get to play them too much. But I don't know, 4-2 is not a bad record to start us off and get a little feel for how these kind of things go, the power level they're at in Historic. We could also play a couple extra Deceits in the sideboard and just try to have some more discard. But overall, I'm happy with it. Nothing crazy. We didn't have, like, full-on blowouts, except for a couple games. But I think it's a decent power level so far. We're just going to have to keep testing and see what kind of shell fits best. But all in all, good first run with Living End, and stay tuned for some other shells that we're going to put it in.